Say what I want like I'm Taylor. My kind of white like Taylor. Swear.
Taylor.
We're back at Elajas Reacts. Today we're getting into an Easy Meal interview. Okay, so we're back with Easy Meal content, but today we're reacting to an Easy Meal Dubai interview by Albert Santos Gayo. Okay, so what I've started to do now, you know what I'm saying, me as an interviewer, I've also started to get into reacting to other people's interviews. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know, and how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna react to artists and then I'm gonna react to their interviews so I can learn, learn more about them as people outside of their music. 'Cause a lot of times when we're here at the Elajas React channel, I'm finding out about these people for the first time. I listen to the music I want to listen to, you know what I'm saying, which is mainly hip hop and R&B. But when it comes to these different type of genres and different type of artists that I've never heard of, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna listen to their music, react to their music, whatever, and then also start to react to their interviews. And we're gonna rate their interviews based on them as an interviewee, as well as the interviewer, because I'm also an interviewer as well. So I feel like I can also be able to give some type of qualifications and classifications and whatnot of how the interview went, you know what I'm saying, whether it's questions or energy or whatever, you know what I'm saying. But you already know how we get down at the Elajas React stage. If this interview is butt cheeks on both parties, it's gonna get a mouth to the bottle. But if I enjoy it and I like the questions, I like the flow, I like how everything went, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna get a glit, pal, I'm outside, you know what I'm saying. But let's get into it.
Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon in some parts of the world. Of course, we're here in Dubai, the Atlantis, and so far
I could tell Cut made us on a iMovie, the way that the fade and the text. I could tell my son made an iMovie.
very lucky and humbled to be with one of the musicians of this modern day and age, none other than SB. Right? Easy Meal. Okay, I was just SB. Easy Meal. So, Easy, how do you find Dubai so far?
It's awesome. It feels good to just see how a lot of things have changed, because the last time that I was here, I was actually really tiny. I was like probably like 7 or 6 years old.
Oh, okay. So you were actually in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And how long did you stay here for?
Probably like almost a year.
Baby Mill. Must look like you should be in a Grease movie, boy. You know what I'm saying? Must got the slick back hair, boy. Jesse for Family, Full House. You know what I'm saying? Must look like the Slender Man, boy. On your ass. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's just jokes. Relax, guys. Damn. Sheesh.
Okay.
For a little bit here actually.
And what can you remember? Can you remember those days?
I remember that the Burj Khalifa was not here yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just remember seeing.
What is a Khalifa? Burj Khalifa? I don't know what that is.
Can you remember those days?
I remember that the Burj Khalifa was not here yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just remember seeing Burj Al Arab,
Right.
and we haven't even gone back to the place or like visited the old area that we used to live in.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that if we get some time.
And
So,
to be visiting that. Yeah.
a lot of the improvements have happened throughout, like the cityscape. It's crazy to see.
He looks pretty much the same though than when he was younger. That's kind of crazy. This man looks identical from when he was a youth dem.
Throughout, like the cityscape. It's crazy to see the improvement and how, like, how it's just now so solid as like a city. It's such a lot more welcoming as like a tourist place. That's good to see.
Okay. Now, when you go back to Las Vegas and start talking to your friends about Dubai, what's the first thing?
Does he live in Las Vegas? He lives in Las Vegas? I thought he lived in the Philippines. Okay. Learn something new every day.
That you'll tell them?
Well, I would actually tell them how similar it is to Vegas in terms of like the spaciousness of the roads and like the construction architecture of like the roadways. Like we were in a bus ride on the way back home to the hotel, and we were saying like this roadway looks like I-15.
Okay. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, I think also because Las Vegas was also built in the middle of the desert, right?
Yeah.
And that's almost
true,
the same here. So I think in terms of architecture and weather and roads,
Yeah.
maybe that's where the similarities comes in.
Yeah.
Now, going to your music, when did you start? You write your own materials, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. When did you start doing that?
I started writing my own music when I was in college, so but it was like, just rough drafts of like trying to.
My son looked like he was out here thugging, boy. This look like the thug fit, boy. The snap shit, the damn snapback with the shadows covering your face. My son look like he out here thugging, boy. I ain't gonna hold you.
College, so, but it was like, just rough drafts of like trying to make metal music, like death metal songs, but I didn't necessarily like go
Slashy, you know what I'm saying? I know that. Shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wolfpack. I know that he his death metal persona is Slashy. And we're also still going to react to more Slashy content, but I also have reacted to a Slashy video that he did and whatnot on his other channel, the Slashy channel.
Go full throttle or like commit myself to making like actual music until I dropped out of college.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You really hear a lot of these stories start out with, I dropped out of college, man. Me personally, I went to college and I graduated summa cum laude. But damn it, man, it was because of my parents. Because, man, I tried to drop out. I wanted to drop out. They did not care. I wanted to drop out, and I'm realizing they probably, I don't know what they would have did if I did drop out. But like sometimes I just think about if I just did it and then just ignored them. You know what I'm saying? Like what my life would have been like at this point. You know what I'm saying?
When I dropped out of college, I was living in my grandma's house, and that's when I started like making like full albums and EPs of like songs, but they were like metal, and then that's how I started.
Okay. Now I was just wondering, your very first music that you composed and that was published, how was that? What was that?
It was more so like just dabbling into the online community of like, bands. So I would like make a lot of friends in terms of like online. They were overseas. So like I have some online friends in Italy, some in Australia while I was in the Philippines. And I had like 8 bands that I was involved in.
Oh, all right.
Like something like that. And
each band was different from each other, or when it comes to genre or things like that, or they're similar.
Kind of similar in a way, because like if you go into like the branches of metal, there's a lot of subgenres that goes into it. So one band was probably like black and deathcore. The other one is like just regular deathcore. The other one was technical death metal. Then the other one was brutal death grind.
Brutal death grind. Nah, run that back.
So one band was probably like black and deathcore. Subgenres that goes into it. So one band was probably like black and deathcore. The other one is like just regular deathcore. The other one was technical death metal. Then the other one was brutal death grind. So like just like making it super specific like that, but more so a lot of just screaming and just like brutal, instrumentation. So
brutal death grind sounds like, what are you finna do when you bump? Like you can't just listen to brutal death grind and just like wash the dishes. Like that's I don't know. I'm jagging like you're a serial killer. You just like listen to brutal death grind before you go to sleep at night or something like that. Like, you're nuts. I ain't gonna care. Like, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know. Brutal death grind sounds nuts.
And those were the first ones.
Yeah.
And then now eventually, most of the music that you come up presently has this wonderful lyrics of heroine, or lyrics of wonderful people and values and everything. Where did the change come from, or how did it come to that?
The change came about to.
Have you been the victim of a dry, tasteless chicken sandwich? Get the justice you deserve. The Jollibee chicken sandwich.
Jollibee?
Crispy, juicy, and tasty beyond a real.
I ain't gonna cap, that do look kind of juicy, but it is a commercial though. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I can't even skip the ass.
reasonable doubt. The Jollibee chicken sandwich. Case.
Ooh, $3.99 though. That's a good price. The Popeyes joint like $4. Over $4 though. Or is it? I forget.
Closed.
Damn, another ad, boy.
The faculty that we've been able to learn from going through this.
Because while I was in my grandma's house, I was in Urdaneta City.
Okay, Pangasinan.
I was there staying at my grandma's place, and a lot of crazy things happening. within like, you know, that time frame. But my papers were also being worked on. So when I got to the States, that's, you know, that's also when I started considering making, you know, the metal music's not really making any money. So I figured it was more so just like a hobby type of like a musical journey. By doing that, I learned a lot of things for like making songs and such. So when I transferred my skills over to,
I would say though, like metal it's not the most popular genre. That's a fact. Like metal is not the most popular genre, and it probably is more so of a niche audience. And I'm not part of like the metal audience. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how strong the metal community really is. If it's very strong in the first place, but you know, I the only metal music I know really of is like Kiss and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, I'm not too equipped in those, you know. But well, this is actually pretty recent interview. Damn, you feel me? Damn, sheesh.
Like making rap music and pop and R&B, it kind of translated in a way to like knowing how to work around, like, you know, the computer softwares, and then building instrumentals for like, you know, mixing the vocals on top of the instrumentals. So that's how it translated in terms of like a skill set. So basically the metal beat kind of was like a training ground. Okay. And then when I went to the rap and stuff, it just worked out. There was some adjusting had to happen because mixing like, you know, rap and pop and R&B, you have to be a lot more clean with it because you're obviously using your clean voice, not like a harsh vocal or screaming. So that's a little bit of adjusting, but that's how it turned out to be. And then in terms of writing the lyrics too, you have to get a little more personal, something that like, you know, regular music listeners.
Yeah, I remember in one of your songs where you says that even when you were still a kid, you were already bullied. I was just listening to that song just on our way here, and as I said, you know, wonderful lyrics. Now, how
do y'all feel about bullying though? I feel like, cause all right, bullied is probably a strong word, but I was definitely made fun of. But I feel like as a kid, like everybody gets made fun of. I feel like you shouldn't take that away from children. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it does kind of make you stronger. Like it made me stronger a lot growing up. Like because, you know, it made me realize early people are nice. It made me be able to have to come up with jokes back and just not be able to get bullied. I wasn't ever like physically bullied, I'll say that, but definitely verbally for a fact. You know what I'm saying? I was always kind of like, not always, but when I was young, I was like smaller times, had a high pitched voice. I was a nerd. So it was like, you know, I got made fun of a lot. I don't think that like bullying is necessarily a bad thing. Those are not physically, you know what I'm saying? But like it kind of definitely makes you a stronger person and teaches you a lot when you're young. I ain't gonna lie.
How would you like your fan to remember you? Let's say 15 years, 20 years from now.
I would say, man, the line I would take from that is not actually that original, but like the line that's popping up to me right now is a line that Joyner Lucas said in a song that he had with Eminem as like an underdog that never lost hope.
Underdog that never lost hope.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Nice.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Now I know that you're performing tomorrow. Right?
The day after.
The day after tomorrow. Okay. And the tickets are sold out. I mean, we can't even get ticket ourselves.
Crazy, right?
And yes. Your lineup on that particular performance, which will be day after tomorrow, was this prepared beforehand, or you're just taking it randomly, or I mean, is there any particular message that you'd like to say to your fans when you do your performance?
What I'm gonna say to my fans, probably they would have to, cause it'll be streamed live on KTX and like, you know, so they'll be able to witness what I will be able to say in front of everyone, and I'm just excited to perform in front of like. You know,
what does his jacket say? Does that say Aspen? Aspia? No.
A stage that big, so it's just an honor to be able to like share that stage with everyone else. And yeah, I'm I'm anxious, excited, like all of those feelings wrapped up into one. I'm just ready.
Okay, right. Well, we look forward to that. And we'll look forward to more of your wonderful songs, wonderful lyrics to
Thank
come.
you, sir.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Oh, my son got credits too, boy. Talk to me. That's what's up. That is what's up. Learn something new every day, man. You learn something new every day. Didn't know the man lived in Vegas, boy. You know what I'm saying? He probably be gambling 24/7, 369. That was Easy Mill getting interviewed in Dubai, my boy. Now, I'm gonna say I did learn something new. I actually did not know that man lived in the United States. That's A. What was that? Like the different genres of death metal. I ain't gonna lie, like I already forgot the name of that one I was already talking about, but that one, that whatever I was talking about already, you listen to that genre before you go to sleep, you're a serial killer. You probably practicing to be able to play that outside when you doing your hits and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to death metal in general, I ain't gonna lie, like I'm not messing with you. You feel me? Like you know something I don't know. Facts. But you know, Easy Mill's like that. You know what I'm saying? Easy Mill definitely makes great music, and he's a pretty talented individual. You know, I felt good and bad about his music, but you know, I think a lot about music is that it should make you feel something at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like music should make you feel some type of emotion, whether you hate it, like it, whatever. If I listen to your music and I feel nothing and I left with nothing, like I walked in with nothing and left with nothing, like no emotion, then yeah, to me that's just like you didn't do a good job at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like your job was not fulfilled because you didn't make me feel anything. You know what I'm saying? Like feeling is something that not a lot of people. People do have emotions, stuff like that, but making somebody feel is very important. You know what I'm saying? But for the interview in general, I like the interviewer. He made me hear things from Easy Mill with certain questions that I wouldn't have known. You know, certain questioning is what allows people to open up and say certain things that you can actually learn about that artist and their upbringing and whatever and so stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But my son definitely looked like he should be in Grease 4. You know what I'm saying? With that slick back hair angle out of, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go ahead and get the whole interview as a whole, a Glit Pal. I'm outside with those, clicking it till it's finished. No cap. Good interview. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. I was engaged. And like I said, I definitely learned new things about Mr. Easy Mill so that I can take into his next song that I end up reacting to or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the Elajas Reacts YouTube channel. Turn on the post notification bell so you know every time we drop a new video. Definitely go ahead and subscribe to the Taylor Elajas vlog channel. It's right there on the damn screen. Daily vlogs, hotel reviews, travel vlogs, food reviews, so on and so forth. Make sure you tap the F in. Make sure you also go ahead and check out the Taylor Elajas Instagram. Funny content, satirical content, and my own interviews. I'm actually also an interviewer, if you didn't know. You can check out some of my interviews with individuals from the United States because, you know, I've never actually traveled outside of the United States. I think I went to like Jamaica. I'm lying. Yeah, I went to a couple different places, but like not too many. I think the most countries outside the United States I've been to is like 2 to 3 or something like that. So, you know, artists from the States, but I have funny interviews, so you should watch them. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go ahead and do everything I said because why not? My name is Taylor Elajas, and you're watching Elajas Reacts.
It's the Big Reaper and I'm back for the killing. When I get on the track, say what I'm actually feeling. I'm a murder baby, you my next victim maybe. Don't nobody don't believe me when I say that I'm crazy.